You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
Right now at 7, we're going to hear of a wonderful combination of reading and pets.
Plus, a fire in Aurora and Marionville leaves one man dead.
And we've got ourselves a beautiful start to the day out there, and we're going to stay above average, at least for the next few days. Take a look at that forecast. Get you out the door. Coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. I'm Caitlin O'Shaughnessy.
I'm Chris Warner, just after 7 o'clock on this Tuesday morning. So anybody who didn't catch us at 5 this morning, we have a tale to recount. Now, we won't go into the exact details, but I'm going to tell you from my perspective, deer are dangerous.
We both got in little accidents this morning
and
on our way to the station.
Yeah, and I'm telling her the odds. Yeah, the odds of that happening. Can you imagine? I mean, we're obviously both okay. Our cars, you know, they're all right. They could be a lot worse, but it's one of those things. First off, watch out for deer. This guy, I'm on YY by CJ, and this guy just out of the corner of my eye leaps 100 feet out of this field into the middle of the highway. So yeah, there was that, and then Caitlin, and that's why I was saying, like, imagine if we were maybe injured or our cars were totaled.
There would be no morning show. There
would have been no KOAM morning news. It was a wild morning. And then
we got to stay protected
because these things come in threes.
Yes.
The third thing, thankfully, wasn't as serious. We had some technology crashes at the beginning of our 5 o'clock show, but all that's been corrected. Our cars are now, still on 4 wheels. We're all okay, and I don't want to leave this building later today.
No, wrap yourself.
I don't know. I don't know. Wrap. Well, let's take a quick discussion about this stuff. We have got something great with pets and some reading.
Yes, we do. Kids in Joplin were given a pressure-free opportunity to fine-tune their reading skills, all while making some new furry friends. KOAM's Elise Noe shares how the kids and animals are benefiting from the readings.
Kids in Joplin had the opportunity to read to some furry friends at the Joplin Humane Society's Shelter Pal reading. The readings happen every second Monday of the month and provide kids in the area a chance to practice reading out loud while hanging out with their new pals.
It's good for the kids because they get a chance to read to the pets without any kind of anybody looking at them and being worried that they're reading it wrong or saying a word wrong, and it's calming for the pets.
Reading to the pets can help reduce stress for the shelter animals, some of whom have had a hard life.
As you sit there, you can tell it's quiet. If the kids hold still and they read to them, all of the dogs will just be quiet, and it's so neat to see.
And it's not just the volunteers and vets who take notice. The kids see it too.
The dogs, I definitely love being around all the animals, but the dogs, when you start reading to them, they will calm down and they'll lay down and listen.
This sense of comfort is a two-way street, especially for kids like Shyla Vodka, who has dyslexia but feels understood by the animals.
And they're not like my English teacher where if I accidentally mess up, they'll call me out for it because they're just listening to me, and it helps me learn a lot, and it helps my speech and my vocabulary.
In Joplin, Elise Noe, KOAM News.
Around 40 kids attended this month's readings. The next one will be held on Monday.
Certainly a great opportunity for these kids, and I have no doubt that the pets certainly enjoyed it as well. And more so, they enjoyed the company of those kids.
Absolutely.
And today is a great day to enjoy the company of the outdoors, except for deer. I told Caitlin, I have honest to goodness not been in an actual car accident in 20 years. And like I say, it wasn't serious. I'm fine. My car is okay. It's going to be fine. But it's a mortifying experience. Deer, I'm done with them. I don't know how I'm going to get here from now on, but I'm going to find a safer way. Our camera, downtown Cornell Complex, looking great. Got that sunrise out there. It's looking nice. MoDOT camera, 32nd and range line, also showing us those nice skies. I'm just really freaked out about the whole deer thing. We're near 50 in Joplin now, well on our way to an above average day. 42 in Pittsburgh. Heed that warning with those clear skies. Partly cloudy to start. We're going to start to clear out by the afternoon. Highs today, upper 60s, a lot more lower 70s out there. there, and we'll fall back to the mid-50s by the evening. We'll have another complete look at your forecast, tell you how long the warm weather lasts and what happens when it goes away here in a few more minutes. Caitlin?
Thanks, Chris. Joplin police released the identity of the woman who was struck and killed by an SUV in the Sam's Club parking lot on Saturday. Authorities say 69-year-old Connie Bennett of Columbus was walking into the store when she was hit by the SUV around 11:30 Saturday morning. According to JPD, the SUV was turning slowly into a parking aisle from the main drive in front of the store when Bennett was walking toward the store. Bennett was taken to the hospital but has since died from her injuries. Officials say the driver remained on scene and cooperated with officers. Authorities in Aurora and Marionville responded to reports of a structure fire Sunday. Upon arrival, crews discovered the rear area of the house fully involved. While battling the blaze, firefighters found an elderly male inside. He was taken outside where resuscitation efforts began. Efforts to save his life were not successful, and the victim, 80-year-old William Medlin of Aurora, passed away. His next of kin has been notified. A pair of brothers received sentencing for an Oklahoma murder conviction. Cody Buzzard was sentenced yesterday to 180 months for one count of second-degree murder and 120 months for one count of discharging firearms. Sentences will run consecutively. Cody pled guilty to these charges in August of 2022. Dakota Buzzard was also sentenced yesterday to 78 months for conspiracy to carry, use, brandish, and discharge a firearm during or in relation to a crime of violence. Their father, James Buzzard, was found guilty in federal court, but will be sentenced at a later date. Some sobering facts ahead of Thanksgiving as Americans prepare to sit down at the dinner table. Wallet Hub released its report on its 2023's most overweight and obese states in America, and all 4 states in our area weighed in the top 20. Arkansas came in at number 5, Oklahoma at number 11, Kansas at 13, and the Show Me State ranked number 18. West Virginia ranked number 1 in the nation, while the District of Columbia ranked the state with the lowest percentage of overweight population. Up next, a theater in Kansas is finding creative ways to help lower the cost for its attendees. And later, Charlene will be in the kitchen showing us how to make pumpkin walnut bread. You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
Preventative care options, affordable prices, and wellness packages for your pet. Mutt Medics, now open at 20th and Main in Joplin.
In Health Watch this morning, a federal agency is warning of rising lead poisoning cases in children from tainted applesauce pouches. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says at least 22 children between the ages of 1 and 3 were sickened by lead-linked to applesauce and cinnamon applesauce puree pouches in 14 states. The CDC says the outbreak is linked to recalled products from the brands Wanna-Bana, Schnucks, and Weiss. The CDC says the general level of concern for blood lead levels is 3.5 micrograms per deciliter. The sickened children had blood lead levels between 4 and 29 micrograms per deciliter. Symptoms linked to lead poisoning include headache, nausea, and vomiting. The agency adds children who have eaten any of these fruit puree products should be tested for possible lead poisoning. The Biden administration announced on Monday a new initiative aimed at women's health research. First Lady Jill Biden and the White House Gender Policy Council are poised to lead the charge. The initiative sets out to improve how the federal government approaches and funds research regarding the health of women, which is said to remain underrepresented and understudied in health research. Biden says, quote, "The fact is that it requires all of the companies, not just NIH, HHS, and the VA, the Defense Department, UH, and every agency the government has and intel. It requires them to come up with a report to me, for me, that lays out what they can do collectively to improve women's health. Women make up more than half of the population, and for too long, they have been underrepresented when it comes to health research, the money spent on that research. That's going to change today," end quote. For weary parents looking for a little help in getting their cranky kids to bed, melatonin supplements could look like the perfect remedy. But new research shows that the number of young kids and preteens being given this sleep is surging. Some things health experts say could pose health risks and indicate the possibility that sleep disorders are on the rise. Fox News correspondent Jackie Ibanez takes a closer look.
For many parents of young kids, getting them ready for bed can be more of a nightmare than a sweet dream.
Either this or that.
A new study from the University of Colorado Boulder finds the struggle is enticing a growing number of people to give their children the sleep aid melatonin.
Melatonin is a hormone that's naturally produced by the body as a cue to start getting ready for bed.
Researchers interviewed roughly 1,000 parents of kids ages 1 to 13 about their child's sleep patterns.
About 5% of preschool-age children, 1 through 4 years old, had taken melatonin in the last 30 days. And that number jumped significantly higher once children started school to almost 1 in 5 school-age children and preteens having taken it recently.
For perspective, from 2017 to 2018, the study says about 1.3% of parents reported melatonin use in their kids. Some health experts caution that what seems like a solution can come with risks, especially when many melatonin supplements don't come with full regulation from the Food and Drug Administration.
We're concerned about what is the effect on hormones and that process as children get older.
And because many melatonin products for kids come in gummy form, with many containing different levels of melatonin than what's listed on the label.
The number of calls to U.S. poison control centers about melatonin ingestion increased 530% from 2012 to 2021.
Researchers believe the surge in melatonin use could indicate high levels of sleep disorders among the younger generations that may need to be studied. Jackie Ibanez, Fox News.
Well, coming up next, Kingman Historic Theater is over 100 years old and continues to draw crowds. Cale Chapman will explain more right after this.
In a world where heroes
for specifically in Joplin proper, or give us a call.
Awesome. Janet, thank you.
You bet. Thank you.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. If only you knew what took place in the commercial breaks. Caitlin and I, we both were right age when Anchorman came out. If you remember that movie in about 2004, and of course we're in the news business. Of course we watched it. And we were just going over some of our favorite parts of that. We tried to sing. We're not going to do that for you folks at home. We don't want to terrify you. Quick look outside. Our camera on the Cornell complex looks great out there. We've got a few clouds. We've got an aircraft. Otherwise, not too bad. MoDOT camera 32nd in range line. Clear skies out there as well, looking great. It is just still always amazing me how quickly these roads will fill up with so many cars as the day goes on. And it doesn't take much time either. KDOT camera south of Pittsburgh on 69, also looking good. Look at this view out there. We got some clouds in the distance, a few clouds here. So we got that partly cloudy sky to start the day, and we're going to clear out. We're almost 50 in Joplin already. Southeast breeze at 8, though, making it feel like 45. So our lows, most of us were well above normal. Now, Neota Shea Parsons still cold out there, 33, so below normal, but everyone else, not too bad. Warming up nicely. 39 Miami and Chanute, as well as Iola Yates Center. 41 Fort Scott. 46 Lamar. 48 in Carthage. And 43 down in Neosho. We get our morning started. Again, partly cloudy skies out there. And we'll go right around 60 as we head into the late morning hours. And our highs today, 10 to 15 degrees above normal. Yesterday, I'll be honest, I'm not perfect. We had a lot more lower 70s across the area than I was originally thinking. And so that's what we're looking at today is another round of lower 70s for the most part out there, maybe even some mid 70s. We'll have mostly clear skies by this afternoon. Mostly clear skies as we head into the evening, and we'll still be a bit above average. Our average low right around the upper 30s. By the way, our average high right around 60, so you can tell how far off we are. Mid 40s tonight. We're going to still be pushing near 70 through Thursday. Clouds increasing, maybe some morning showers Friday, back to normal, and just a pinch above heading into the weekend. Then Monday, looking to be a good chance for some real meaningful rainfall out there, but it does kick our temperatures down. Upper 50s Monday, then we hang out in the lower 50s heading into Thanksgiving, so we go below normal, but we will be sunny for Thanksgiving, so looking sunny and dry to get out there and enjoy the holiday. That is a quick check of your forecast. Now, here's Caitlin.
Thanks, Chris. Well, everything seems to cost more, including a night at the movies. But the theater in Kingman, Kansas is changing up how they do business to make it more affordable. Cale Chapman was there ahead of the showtime to speak with volunteer staff about what makes their theater different.
It's awesome. It's awesome.
The Kingman Historic Theater has been around for more than 100 years and continues to draw crowds, but this time with $3 tickets.
That's ridiculous.
I know.
And live concerts. The theater's general manager says the changes are new this year after a successful summer.
So we started with just 4 concerts and the response was amazing. People are just ringing, wanting to buy those concert tickets and coming, and we've actually selling out our concerts clear into next year.
Kingman Theater board member Angie Lampy says their low prices and special events don't just bring in swarms of locals, they get people from hours away.
It's great to get the phone call to say, hey, they're driving 3 hours to come get tickets. You know, what time are you guys opening so we can be here? It just makes you feel so good.
It's an effort that's helping keep this small town theater going.
Another thing that makes it special, almost all of its workers are volunteers who say they're doing it to bring their community together.
I love everything about it. I love giving back to the community, just to be a part of everybody every weekend. Working with people that you love and care about, I think it's a great feeling.
With some theaters closing nationwide, the workers here say they're glad to see this theater successful.
And we could not have dreamed that this was going to be the turnout when we started doing $3 movies and concerts and these special events. So yeah, it's just been amazing.
Next summer marks 104 years at the Kingman Historic Theater. To get more information about the theater, you can find them on Facebook.
And coming up, we're going to have another look at our top stories of the day, plus this pumpkin walnut bread with Charlene. We'll be right back.
It's winning season at the Stables. Win big Wednesdays with Fall into Cash hot seats and all you can.
For more in the McD app.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. We've got our good friend Charlene Patton all the way down from Topeka with the Kansas Soybean Commission. Always great to have you. So last month, of course, we did spooky things. Now we're really fall, and we've got a lot of pumpkin recipes this month. One that I need to go ahead and get started on.
All right,
here.
you do that. I have you mixing the pumpkin with 2 eggs, and that's going to be part of our liquid mixture. And then when you get that mixed up, you're going to add some vanilla soy milk, some vegetable oil, which we talked about. The only ingredient in that vegetable oil is soybeans, and then some vanilla. So as you're mixing that up, I'm going to get started with the dry ingredients. We have flour and sugar in here, and then I have some baking soda and some spices here. And one thing I like to use is the pumpkin pie spice. That gives you a variety of spices without having to buy all the different spices in your cupboard. So this uses pumpkin pie spice. And then I have 1 cup of coarsely chopped walnuts. I put those in the oven at 350 for about 10 minutes, and kind of at 5 minutes I mixed them up a little bit, kind of shaked in my pan to toast them, and that gives you a lot more flavor, Chris, with that. And I like to add them now to the dry ingredients because it separates it, and you'll get wonderful walnuts in every bite.
Now it occurred to me real quick, we didn't tell folks at home what we're making. This is pumpkin walnut bread.
Oh yes.
That's important. I mean, here's the deal. If you follow the instructions, you'll figure out what you're making, but it's probably good to know what it is.
I'm glad you said that because we got started right away getting mixing and we didn't say that. So now we're going to add all those liquid ingredients that you made, the pumpkin mixture, and we're going to put that in there. And such an easy recipe. I mean, you can just use a bowl and a spoon for this. We just want to mix this until it's all mixed up. We probably won't do all that to save time. But then you show the pan there. We're going to use this into a greased 9-inch loaf pan there. But you and I were talking before the show. Oh my gosh, this bread is so wonderful. It would make a great gift for the holidays.
It certainly would.
So keep this recipe handy. There you can see how nice that is.
That's looking really good so far.
350 for 55 to 65 minutes, and use a wooden pick and make sure it's done before you take it out.
All right, and as you mentioned, it could be a great gift, could be something just to snack on, or if you're going for Thanksgiving, bringing something to the family's house. could be a new option for you to bring something over, something different to try.
That's right. And if they want the recipe, they can go to kansassoybeans.org or call our 800 number, 877-KS-SOYBEAN, and we'll mail them all the recipes for November.
All right, Charlene, thank you so much for coming down with us. And of course, as always, if you missed any of that, worry not. You'll find it on our website later this morning at KOAMnewsnow.com. We will be back with more of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
Plus, shop confidently with Ashley's Price Match Guarantee. Only at Ashley.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. The time now is 7:29 a.m. I'm Caitlin O'Shaughnessy. Cherokee County Sheriff's deputies have been responding to an increase in vehicle crashes involving deer recently, as deer become more active this time of year. Cherokee County Sheriff David Groves warns drivers deer are particularly active around dawn and dusk, so be extra vigilant during those times by driving with your bright lights on if there are no oncoming vehicles, scanning road ditches, buckling up, and remember to resist taking avoidance maneuvers should a deer be in or enter the roadway. Evasive action often contributes significantly to serious injury or death. Head over to KOAMnewsnow.com for more deer crash safety tips. And it was a big month for the Neosho, Missouri High School chapter of the National FFA organization. The team went to the National FFA convention and placed 4th overall in the poultry division. 2 members placed in the top 10 overall for individuals. Caleb Lunkarik placed 8th and Braden Selgaby placed 1st overall. Congratulations, everyone. The Joplin Public Library is connecting stories with the great outdoors permanently. The library installed a permanent story walk-in, its outdoor classroom. It provides an opportunity for families to read a book as through pages installed along the path. The first story along part of the walk is We All Play by Julie Flett.
A permanent story walk in this, with this setup, allows us to switch out the book every so often, which makes it more exciting. Just a new opportunity to introduce a new book in this format.
A story walk has been installed in all 50 states as well as 12 foreign countries. The Girard Public Library yesterday gave an old book a new use. The library hosted a community craft night. Folks came out and created a turkey centerpiece out of a used book just in time for Thanksgiving.
I really enjoy it. I like being creative, and I think as a library we can offer these programs. Some people may not have access or the ability to come up with these ideas on their own, so it's a way for us to reach more members of our community.
The Girard Public Library will be hosting other events before the end of the year, including a Lego night and a night paint.
And we've got another day with above average temperatures out there, starting the day for most of us above average as well. Quick look at the Skywatch Storm Tracker. Nothing out there. These little rain spots you're seeing are not actually happening. We zoom out, take a look at the clouds. We've seen some of those clouds off to the east. We'll have some partly cloudy skies to start our day, and then those skies will begin to clear. MoDOT camera, 32nd in range line, plentiful sunshine. Clearing skies off to the northwest there, and that is going to be the theme today. And we saw a lot more lower 70s yesterday than what we anticipated, and we're anticipating more lower 70s as we head through today. We'll start to clear out by this afternoon, upper 60s. Again, a lot of lower 70s out there. As we head into the evening, we'll start to cool back just a little, but even our lows tonight are going to still be a bit above average, and that is going to be the theme for the next couple of days before we start to see some changes in those temperatures. We'll take another full look at your forecast here in just a few more minutes. Caitlin?
Thanks, Chris. Well, patients are trapped in hospitals with fuel and medicine running low as the fighting worsens in Gaza. Fox News correspondent Jeff Paul has more from Tel Aviv.
The humanitarian crisis in Gaza is worsening. Fighting between Israeli forces and Hamas militants outside Gaza's largest hospital is forcing thousands to evacuate for safety, leaving the most vulnerable patients behind.
My hope and expectation that there will be less intrusive action relative to the hospital. The hospital must be protected.
Al-Shifa Hospital, left without electricity and water for the past few days, can hardly function as the fighting continues. Health officials inside say people are at risk, especially newborns. U.S. officials are weighing in.
We would love to see Hamas take some of the fuel reserves it's sitting on and use that to supply hospitals in northern Gaza.
The Israeli government has also told us that they are prepared to provide fuel to hospitals.
Although humanitarian aid is coming in, it's not enough.
The delivery at night and the arrival of at night of trucks is also very complicated because they expose the teams to danger and risk, and we had already a couple of incidents that were very concerning.
The continuous fighting has officials once again calling for a ceasefire.
We request and support the unconditional release of all hostages and the facilitation of aid delivery wherever people are in need.
More than 2/3 of Gaza's population has evacuated from northern Gaza since the war began, and more are leaving each day. In Tel Aviv, Jeff Paul, Fox News.
And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. The annual Badges and Burgers is coming up, and we'll have the Pittsburgh Police Department here to share more information. Stay tuned.
And again, above average temperatures hanging on in our forecast, but changes definitely on the way. We'll talk about those, maybe even some rain chances out there when the KOAM Morning News returns.
I'm not coming out until Casey's has thin crust.
Buy one large single topping pizza, get the second 50% off. Only at Casey's.
Welcome back. Pittsburgh Police Department ready to host its annual Badges and Burgers event. Proceeds from the fundraiser to help the Children's Advocacy Center in Pittsburgh. We want to thank you both for coming in. Welcome to the show. It's great to have you here. So, big deal, Badges and Burgers. Tell me a little bit about what that is exactly.
Police department puts on basically a barbecue. We give a burger, normally chips, cookie, and a drink. And all of the proceeds for that go to the Children's Advocacy Center to support them. And we do it at the fire station.
And what got you all involved in this? What made this kind of a thing that you wanted to participate in order to help out the Children's Center?
Well, we partnered with the Children's Advocacy Center a long time ago in order for them to be successful. Then we help. In order for us to be successful, we need them. They do a lot of stuff for us. They provide their facility. They, help us with our trainings and stuff like that. And we want them to be successul. So.
I think it's a great way for all of us to come together and see us outside of our work. So kids get to come, they get to see the fire trucks, the police officers, and then they get to see us too. So.
Right, and get to have a little fun in a situation that may otherwise be a little scary for them. If they have to go through something like that, they get to have a little more fun, see everyone in a more relaxed light. And how important is it for the Advocacy Center to be able to benefit from this fundraiser? How does this help you all?
So it helps us in several different ways. One, it's getting that outreach out, letting people know about us. And then it's also, the funds help us tremendously. We're pretty, we rely on grant funds and community donations. So this is a way to help us give back.
And for folks that are wanting to participate and help out, what do they need to know? Where do they need to go? What should they do?
They need to go to Fire Station 1 and Bamboo graciously donated the first 50 meals. Wow. They are dine-in only, so that's between 11 and 1. You can come to the fire station and dine in, and the first 50 meals are paid for by Bamboo.
Oh, wow.
So we thank them for that.
Yeah, certainly a great help there. And in terms of the Advocacy Center, just real quick, what all do you all do to help kids out? What is it that you do?
So we provide advocacy, and we house what we call a forensic interview for kids who have been sexually abused, physical abuse, or witness to violence. We also provide community education.
So that's got to be, again, tough for some of those kids to have to go through that. So as you mentioned, it's good to see you guys on a different side, to be able to relax, have some fun, and also know that police officers, for example, are there to help, because I know sometimes in certain situations, they can be scary for kids. Even a fire truck can be scary for kids. So it's great to have this. So one more time, where is this and what time is it?
Fire Station 1, and it's between 11, right? No.
11 to
What
1.
11 to 1.
11 to 1.
And
Okay.
pre-orders are, you can still do your pre-orders. There is delivery option, and it's open till tomorrow.
And the phone numbers for the pre-orders are 620-235-0400 or 620-231-9880.
All right, ladies, thank you so much for coming in this morning. A great cause out there. And of course, we'll have all this information on our website this morning at KOAMnewsnow.com. We will be back with another check of that forecast right after this.
There's a new option in town for your vow open at 20th and Main in Joplin.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 7:42 now on this Tuesday morning. Great view from our camera on top of the Cornell Complex downtown Joplin. Got a few clouds out there. Otherwise, not a bad start to the day. In fact, we had a very above average start to the day as well. MoDOT camera, 32nd range line, plentiful sunshine, clear skies off to the north and to the west. And the KDOT camera just south of Pittsburgh on 69. You can see sunny skies out there. A beautiful start to the day for us. And our camera, 7th and range line. There's some of those clouds. There's those clear skies. Clearing will continue. Already up to 49. Feels like 45 with a light southeast breeze at about 8 miles an hour. And temperatures around the region, well, Neodesha, Parsons, still pretty chilly out there this morning and below average, sitting at 33. The rest of us, though, right at or in some cases about 10 degrees above average. It's kind of an interesting little character here. We got 42 in Pittsburgh, 49 Carthage, 44 Neosho, 38 Chetopa, 39 Miami, 39 Yates Center, Chanute. So again, overall, not a bad start for us. Partly cloudy skies to start. We're going to go right around 60 by late morning. And as we head into today, more temperatures in the low 70s out there. In fact, we saw a lot more low 70s yesterday than what I was initially thinking in the morning. So we're looking at more low 70s today. So about 10 to 15 degrees above normal. Above normal again tonight, mostly clear back into the mid 40s. We're going to stay above normal through Thursday, pushing the 70s. And then Friday, maybe some morning showers. Otherwise, temperatures back to normal. Got a good weekend ahead of us as we head into next week. Increasing rain chances Monday, cooler, upper 50s, and then below normal as we head toward Thanksgiving. Temperatures falling back into the low 50s, but at least right now, got a sunny day for Thanksgiving. That's a quick check of your forecast. Now, here's Caitlin with Consumer Watch.
Thanks, Chris. Earnings reports from major retailers could show consumers what to expect for the holiday shopping season. Reports from Walmart and Target this week are expected to signal what is to come for retailers, as some business experts predict the companies will be overstocked. The abundance of merchandise could lead to more discounts this holiday season. Investors say Walmart's decision to not hire extra holiday workers could also show the company is not expecting very high customer traffic. Earlier this month, Target announced more consumers were pulling back on all spending, including on groceries, which could lead to shoppers buying less for the holidays. Thanksgiving is around the corner, and if you're hosting a dinner this year, get ready for some sticker shock. This year's feast is going to cost you more, but what are some of your thoughts and efforts that you can save some money? In today's Consumer Watch, Cole Higgins has 5 tips to keep this year's fast under budget.
It's the Super Bowl of all the food holidays, Thanksgiving, and this year's feast is likely going to cost you more. Although turkey prices are down, side dishes are expected to be more expensive this year compared to last year. That's according to Wells Fargo's new Thanksgiving report.
That is the holiday. We clutter it up with so much other stuff, and we spend money until we're blue in the face.
So what can you do to save? Jessica Allen has these 5 tips to trim the costs. The first step is to create a budget and shop early.
Be realistic. What amount are you comfortable spending on a meal or your portion of the meal that you're contributing to the family dinner, and then stay within it.
2, trim the menu. Cut out the sides that are not huge hits at the dinner table. Choose wisely to avoid overspending on items that only get a few bites.
So can you go for meatless appetizers? Can you go for some beautiful, colorful vegetable or fruit side dishes that save you a little bit of money at the grocery store?
Number 3, go potluck. Experts recommend you ask guests to bring the desserts or sides. That way you can split the cost. Number 4, shop smart. Consider buying items in bulk and start looking for deals now.
When you start early enough, you've got time to piece together your meal from this place and this place and this place.
And finally, ditch the pre-made and pre-cut food. Consider buying those fruits and veggies and cutting them yourself. It's a bit more work, but it will help you avoid high price markups. For Consumer Watch, I'm Cole Higgins.
We'll be right back with more after this, but first, let's take a look at the market prices before the opening bell.
After you've been hurt,
together we can help area food pantries help even more.
A 12-year-old girl in Scottsdale, Arizona is breaking records and crushing the competition during her triathlete training.
Fox's Ellen McNamara takes us to meet this talented girl.
12-year-old Ariana Dinu loves to swim, bike, and run, and she's determined to be the best triathlete she can be.
I just think that if you want to do something, you should be able to do it. I wanted to do it because I've loved the 3 sports and I love endurance.
Dinu often trains with adults. She's not old enough to compete in an actual Ironman triathlon. You have to be 18. But she just completed the Crush It 140.6 triathlon, the same distance as an Ironman.
You should never let anything prevent you from getting to what you want to do most, like your goals.
The 7th grader who attends Great Heart Scottsdale Preparatory Academy completed the 2.4-mile swim, 112-mile bike ride, and full marathon in record time, 15 hours and 20 minutes. She now holds the best time for the youngest person to complete the mind-boggling distance.
I'm going to keep doing triathlons. I'm going to keep trying to get better, faster, maybe even become an elite or professional triathlete.
And when she is old enough, she plans to compete in the Ironman in Kona, Hawaii.
If you believe it, if you work hard and never give up, and then you know that you will crush it.
She will absolutely crush it. She's
Absolutely.
going places.
She's-
What's your
she's
excuse,
going.
Chris?
I'm going places because I'm going to walk from here to over there to give you a quick look at the forecast. I'm going places, and here I go. I'll even stomp loud enough so that you know. I might. I'm getting too old for this business. You don't understand. You get a little older, that distance starts to get longer and longer every time. We've got stairs to get out of the studio, too. Those stairs, I could jump off of them when I started here 7 years ago, and now, man, getting up those stairs is becoming tough. All right, our camera well, technically it's on 7th Street, 7th and Joplin Avenue, on top of the Cornell Complex in downtown. You can see some of those clouds out there. MoDOT camera, 32nd and Range Line, looking pretty good as well. Clear skies out there off to the northwest. We're sitting at 49 in Joplin, 44 in Pittsburgh, so a fairly reasonable start to the day. And as we go through the rest of this day, temperatures are going to do this number. Yesterday, we make mistakes. I'm not perfect. We saw a lot more lower 70s than I originally expected, and I think that's exactly what's going to happen today. A lot more lower 70s with the south breeze at about 5 to 10 miles an hour. We'll see mostly clear skies as we head through the afternoon into the evening hours, back to the mid-50s by 6. We are going to stay above average for a couple more days and then start to see some changes. We'll take a look at your 7-day forecast and the news you need to know right after this.
Each day we choose to take steps forward. To put us.
The Pittsburgh, Kansas native received the Good Conduct Medal and National Defense Service Medal. We are proud to salute Arthur Fields, a 4-state hero.
Here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. Joplin police released the identity of the woman who was struck and killed by an SUV in the Sam's Club parking lot on Saturday. Authorities say 69-year-old Connie Bennett of Columbus was walking into the store when she was hit by the SUV around 11:30 Saturday morning. According to JPD, the SUV was turning slowly into a parking aisle from the main drive in front of the store when Bennett was walking towards the store. Bennett was taken to the hospital but has since died from her injuries. Officials say the driver remained on scene and cooperated with officers. Authorities in Aurora and Marionville respond to reports of a structure fire Sunday. Upon arrival, crews discovered the rear area of the house fully involved. While battling the blaze, firefighters found an elderly male inside. He was taken outside where resuscitation efforts began. Efforts to save his life were not successful, and the victim, 80-year-old William Medlin of Aurora, passed away. Next of kin has been notified. And a pair of brothers received sentencing for an Oklahoma murder conviction. Cody Buzzard was sentenced yesterday to 180 months for one count of second-degree murder and 120 months for one count of discharging a firearm. Sentences will run consecutively. Cody pled guilty to these charges in August of 2022. Dakota Buzzard was also sentenced yesterday to 78 months for conspiracy to carry, use, brandish, and discharge a firearm during or in relation to a crime of violence. Their father, James Buzzard, was found guilty in federal court, but will be sentenced at a later date.
All right, again, looking at more highs into the low 70s today, so about 10 to 15 degrees above normal out there. Mostly clear skies, south breeze about 5 to 10. Overnight lows roughly 5 to 10 degrees, again, above normal out there as we go into the mid-40s with mostly clear skies across the area. We stay above average as we head toward Thursday, still hanging out in the 70s. A little cooler Friday with temperatures about average, maybe some morning showers. And as we head into next week, better rain chances Monday, cooler, upper 50s. And then low 50s as we head toward Thanksgiving, and sunny skies by Thanksgiving.
All right, well, we get to hear his voice all the time, but these kiddos got a surprise yesterday when KOAM's own Dow Quick sat in for story time.
Now, Dow read to students in Miss Taylor and Miss Chelsea's classes at the Family Resource Center in Pittsburgh. After story time, he talked with the kids and asked them to tell him all about what makes them happy. I know in most cases just listening to Dow talk makes me happy.
He makes me so happy. God, love Dow.
There's just something
what
about
doesn't
him.
he do?
There's nothing he can't do.
Absolutely.
Because he's Dow. Well, thank you all so much for letting us put the good in your morning. We're going to be back with more news and weather today at noon.
Have a great rest of your day, Forest States.